In the forces, I trained at Taunton, went to Yeovil, learned my driver training. Then I was attached to the Queen Alexander Hospital as a driver for medics and surgeons. Met my husband while I was there and we married. I fell pregnant, so I came out the army. The fluorescent lights in the shops were making me feel sick. I was dizzy and disorientated. I couldn't write. My one passion in life was writing. I used to write a lot of short stories and poetry. And I couldn't write anymore. Nothing was coherent. It was just a jumble. And that upset me, for one, because I had no outlet for my creativity. And, it was about 6 months down the line when the optician actually says you need to go to the hospital. And of course that's when they told me I had macula, which at first they didn't pick up on because of my age, because they said it's usually an old person's disease that they get in late 70s, early 80s. So that was a bit of a downer. As I said, you can't understand how somebody feels when suddenly they take for granted the sight, and to see children, grandchildren, it is brilliant. I can still see them, I can still see the shapes, but I can't see the faces and the expressions, which you learn to find other ways of compensating for that. And I compensate in the voices an awful lot. You can tell an awful lot by a child's voice, whether they're angry, happy, upset, or whatever. So, but the sight problem seemed like just another nail in the coffin until, as I say, blind veterans, and then someone's pulled the nail out and you're all right. I was trying to get myself fitted with some glasses that would stop the glare in shops. And Mr. Smith at the Low Vision Clinic said that I heard about them. I've never been in a war or any other situation like that. So I initially thought, well, no. But he seemed to think I would be, because I'd been in the army, he said, and that's what counted. So the blind veterans sent a welfare officer, Ray East, to see me, and he explained everything that they did, which was amazing. And then we arranged for an induction week. Before going to the induction week, it was very trepidatious. I was a bit worried. I went to Brighton and it was fantastic. There was a lot of older people, loads of stories which I thoroughly enjoyed. They take you through guidance. Anything you need to know, they are there. They'll tell you whatever you need to know. There's cookery, gardening, art projects, swimming, archery, rifle shooting. There is so many things that a blind person can do that just astounded me. They had actually a totally blind man in Ovendene making rocking horses, and they were fantastic. And I'm thinking, I can't even make a Christmas card, never mind do something like that. And they are truly fantastic to what you can do without realising it. There's so much a person can do. Sight is one sense. You have so many other senses, and they taught me to use them. That first week, as I said, was an eye-opener. By the end of it, it was fantastic, because I came home with such a positive attitude that there wasn't anything I couldn't do. If I set my mind to it, you can do it. There's no such word as can't. Get ahead and do it. I've always wrote. I used to write poetry to my husband when we were courting and blah blah and all that. I've had poetry published in the local newspaper and things like that. I used to go to writing classes. I wrote wherever I went. I used to like going down by the river, feeding the ducks, and then sit there for an hour or so writing. And it's marvellous what inspiration comes from being quiet and quiet surroundings. when that went, I felt like a hole had just opened up in the road and dropped me through it. I didn't have it. It had gone. And I still miss it. I still miss it an awful lot. Blind veterans have made me a whole person by giving me a workshop to do my clay modelling or any other piece of art I would like to do. They've donated it to me in a way because they've built it, put it there, finished the garden off, and they've given me another outlet. So blind veterans to me are the be all and end all of everything. If it wasn't for blind veterans, I'll still be sat in the house in front of a television I can't see. I'd be bemoaning myself because I couldn't do things, thinking I couldn't, because that is the mindset you have initially when your sight goes. It's you think that is it, that's the end of my world, I can't do this, I can't do that. But blind veterans opens your eyes and lets you realise that there's lots of things you can do. Blind veterans can help the blind as well as the sighted. They can train the sighted to help the blind. Going to blind veterans opens a door to you that will not be opened by anyone else. They can show you recreation, crafts, work, speech, anything you can think of that you'd lost, blind veterans will refine for you.